I did, I'm not a volleyball guy. I mean, I do it for a living. I've done it for a living my whole life. But I have an English degree and a master's in creative writing, and my brain works differently than what coaches do. And I work with enough kids to know that if she doesn't get it worked out in her head, she's just not going to be able to do it. And so when you break it down for them, you got to break it down for them. Like when I use that towel, or I use the analogy of the roller coaster, and then she can kind of make an image of that, and she gets that. Okay, but on the other part of it is I won't let her over it. And just like once you get it, stop. It's kind of like paralysis by analysis. We want her arm and her hip to be really whippy and rubbery, and when her brain wants to think, it's just kind of stiff and
if I ever think it, just think hip, arm, snap.
Just whip.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just remember that towel. Here's what happens with the towel. The towel's like a bullwhip. This is the end of the towel. This is the middle of the towel, and the tip of the towel is what does the damage. And here's what's happening. The back end of the towel pulls the middle of the towel, which pulls the end of the towel. Okay, so now the end of that towel is moving, and then all you have to do is right before contact, snap it off. Okay?
Right.
And so if I take the front end of the towel and do that, which is what you've been doing, you've been here and just pushing your hand at the ball, it's nothing. But the same thing, if I do this and I don't snap it, nothing happens. It's when I do this and right before, front, middle, bang, then it's like, ha-ha.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that there, like about every fifth ball, you're almost surprised by what's happening with the ball. And all you're trying to get your body do is to become a whip. Big muscles pull little muscles. And then understand that with my body parts here, that the part that's going to generate power is my hip and shoulder rotation. But the only thing that can control the ball is my hand and wrist. So all we're trying to do is deliver the hand and wrist to the ball with as much force as possible, but then before impact, let the hand and wrist take over.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just have to remember.
You won't remember to do it. You got to rep it out. Sam Amos doesn't think about that because she couldn't not think of being. She couldn't not make. If she went to a psychologist for a year, she couldn't undo that, and that's kind of what has to happen. And so, we train. So, when we're in practice, we're almost never doing live play ever. Like when you watched Zoe just repeatedly was taking a low ball that she had to get around and break her hips down on the ball and just train that move. No matter where the ball goes, just train the move. Right? And then when you play, you just shut your brain off and just go.
Right.
But you go skilled. And so when even with the coaches, the younger coaches that we have, I'll walk by their court and what they're asking the kids to do is right, but they're not training them. They're not training the movement, how to do it. I'm just like, what you're saying is great, but they're only interested in how to do it. It's the only thing they care about is how to do it. So you got to break it down. So when we teach attack, we are 50% of the time on the box just thinking about what our arms do. 50% of the time we're on the floor just working on what our feet are doing, or 30, and then 40% we're working on live attack. But what coaches will do is, Natalie, what I want you to do is I want you to get a good plant, make sure you draw a turn and snap the ball, and you're going, whoa, dude, that's 9 things. Let me do the one thing, kind of, okay? Because what happens is, we'll have kids make this move, Nat, just work that move. And if they work it enough, if I ask them, okay, now get your arms back and up quick, this move will automatically happen. So you can take them to the next task, and that's coming too. Okay? And if you spend 5 seconds here, and then you go to there, that's immediately lost. And so you just kind of have to build it. Mm-hmm. And you got to build it in pieces, and just be super patient with it. But that's, you can tell her, her wheels are turning, and that's good because she's smart. Like some kids, when you get them up there, they'll do it, but you can tell they don't get what's going on. They're just able to do it. In her world, it's like, I understand what needs to happen, and I'm going to really try to it's not rocket science.
Right.
It's a simple move.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You could be a lot better player. Yeah, you could be a lot better player. So, because what about every fifth ball up there, ball comes, and that's something that can happen all the time. Right? So.
Well, she actually started playing at